By the summer of 2023, April Holt, a mother of two and a positivity coach, had amassed a following of over 200,000 on TikTok. She crafted her quirky and optimistic online persona around the image of a happy home life. Her posts narrated a journey of resilience and the power of manifestation. But yeah, keep growing, y'all. Keep manifesting and have a great day, y'all. But in late July, the facade began to crumble. April was discovered unresponsive in the bathroom of her home. She would succumb to her condition just days later. While investigators were quick to label the incident as a tragedy of April's own making, her mother understood there was more to the story. This is the tale of a mother's relentless pursuit of justice. Hello, I'm Kevin, and welcome to Just Thought Lounge. Today's case takes us to the outskirts of Nashville, Tennessee, where a young mother, entrepreneur, and influencer met a suspicious fate. Let's delve into the life of April Holt, who celebrated her 29th birthday in early July 2023. The ambitious entrepreneur from Antioch had already achieved much in her short life. As an independent lash technician, April had left her traditional job to forge her own path, building a successful business and embracing the life of her dreams. Happy 29th birthday to me. I'm blessed to experience another year of life. I have lived through 10,585 days. As she contemplated her greatest achievements, it was her family that she cherished most. Her two children, 11-year-old Serenity and 7-year-old Denzel, were the center of her universe. April embodied the role of a devoted mother, sharing the highlights of her family life through her engaging TikTok content. Her focus on positivity resonated with her followers, as she presented a spiritual journey and coached her audience on manifesting their aspirations. Her videos were often uplifting. I just pray and send good energy to anybody who's seeing this. I hope you have an amazing day on purpose. Be intentional and grow just a little bit. Progress over perfection. At times, her content was playfully whimsical. You give my life color. Yet, beneath the cheerful surface, some of April's posts were deeply revealing. She shared her struggles with homeschooling as a child, a painful chapter marked by feelings of isolation. This was a profound experience she learned from and ultimately overcame during her teenage years. April and her husband, 33-year-old Donovan Holt, openly navigated the complexities of their marriage online, sharing their love story. Friends that became best friends, then lovers, and eventually husband and wife and parents to daughter Serenity, whom April had as a teenager, and their son Denzel. Question? Oh, so the answer right now? The foundation of our relationship was built on friendship. If we hadn't been friends first, you're so out of breath. I am out of breath. But honestly, if we weren't friends first, it wouldn't have lasted. That's been the core of their relationship rested on that friendship. Even through challenges, they maintained their bond through humor and connection. It's what kept us through our separation, honestly. So yeah, being friends is important. He really is like my best friend ever. The bestest. The best friend I could ever ask for. And I married him. Yet, their journey wasn't without rough patches, including the separation Donovan referenced. The couple faced financial struggles, bouts of depression, and serious health issues. Despite it all, April reframed their story as a testament to overcoming adversity. April Holt's story, often painted with strokes of love and success, masked the deeper struggles she faced. In a world where many shy away from sharing their personal battles, she tried to navigate the complexities of online privacy and vulnerability. But on the morning of Friday, July 28th, the facade began to crack. April briefly spoke with her mother, Jamie Dickerson, over the phone. They had planned to see the much-anticipated Barbie movie, but April would have to miss it that afternoon. Instead, they agreed to meet at their church the following day, unaware of the tragic turn that awaited them. Just hours later, Jamie received a phone call that would haunt her forever. Donovan Holt was on the line, his voice trembling as he informed her that April had been rushed to the hospital. Their young son had discovered her in a distressing state. In a horrifying revelation, Jamie learned that April had been found in the shower, a plastic bag taped over her head, unresponsive. As Jamie replayed their last conversation in her mind, the words echoed painfully. "We were going to see the Barbie movie," April had said. Donovan was supposed to work, but they had planned to meet at church. The next day, the phone rang again. It was Donovan, sounding frantic and upset. "We found April!" he exclaimed, his panic palpable. He revealed that she wasn't breathing and was on her way to the hospital. Upon arriving, Jamie could sense something was amiss. Donovan's demeanor was unsettling. He did not exhibit the expected distress of a husband in crisis. Instead, he left all medical decisions regarding April's treatment to Jamie as they fought for her life. As Jamie watched Donovan, she noted his peculiar behavior. He sat with his head in his hands, rocking back and forth, lost in a world of his own. After 3 agonizing days, on July 31st, April was declared dead, succumbing to her injuries. In a heart-wrenching moment, Jamie recalled how Donovan sat with his head cradled in his hands, rocking back and forth, overwhelmed by despair. After 3 agonizing days, on July 31st, the unthinkable happened. April, the light of her family, was declared dead, succumbing to her grievous injuries. As November arrived, the autopsy report surfaced, delivering shocking revelations that left Jamie reeling. The medical examiner concluded that April's death was the result of suffocation, a finding that contradicted the Metro Nashville Police's assessment of no foul play. The truth seemed shrouded in shadows. Amidst this turmoil, a stark contrast emerged. A voice on social media spoke of personal struggles, a plea for understanding while applying lash extensions, an attempt to mask the pain of a recent breakdown. This individual shared her journey through depression and the overwhelming weight of life's challenges. She expressed a recognition of her own negativity manifesting in her life, a realization of the need to rise above. The struggle to fake it till I make it was a familiar refrain, echoing her past experiences in battling inner demons. But not all battles could be fought alone. Jamie Dickerson faced a stark reality when investigators informed her that April's case would be closed, claiming there was nothing left to uncover. This proclamation was met with fierce rejection from Jamie. Determined and resolute, she walked out on the investigators, declaring, "I'm not done. I'm going to keep investigating." Her daughter deserved justice, and Jamie was unwilling to accept the premature closure of the case. Jamie, a mother who knew her daughter intimately, understood that April possessed an unwavering faith and resilience. There was no doubt in her mind that April would never willingly abandon her children. Jamie believed with all her heart that someone had taken April's life, and she was convinced she knew who was responsible. Just 2 weeks before her tragic death, April had taken the brave step of filing for divorce. It was a decision that would reverberate through the lives of those left behind, a decision that Jamie believed ultimately led to the horrific events that followed. In the depths of despair, Jamie pondered the unimaginable. Why would April Holt ever choose to abandon her children? The harsh reality loomed. Someone had brutally taken her life. Jamie was convinced that she knew the identity of the murderer. Just 2 weeks before her tragic death, April had made the bold decision to file for divorce. The marriage of April and Donovan Holt had not been without its struggles. Years prior, they had sought a divorce, resulting in a 3-year separation that left deep scars and unanswered questions. In a reflective moment, Donovan expressed that they were choosing to divorce, a decision they had made together. He considered April his best friend, professing a love that remained strong. Despite their disbandment, he acknowledged their shared responsibilities as parents, vowing to maintain a close connection. Yet, he recognized that both needed to pursue their individual paths. Donovan declared that their lives would always be intertwined, leaving the future uncertain, but hopeful for what lay ahead. He insisted that their decision stemmed from a place of mutual understanding, devoid of animosity. It was not a messy divorce, but rather a conscious choice aimed at personal growth and healing for both. April mirrored Donovan's sentiments, affirming that he had been a constant presence in her life, long before their romance began. She maintained that their friendship would endure, regardless of their marital status, emphasizing the bond they shared. Together, they presented a united front to their followers, insisting they were in a good place. Yet, beneath the surface, their relationship hinted at an unhealthy cycle, raising questions about the true nature of their connection. After a prolonged separation, Donovan and April attempted to reignite the flame of their romance. Their videos showcased their commitment to forgiveness and open communication, portraying a narrative of growth while remaining together. However, the darkest shadows of their relationship rarely made it to April's TikTok account. Yet something had shifted. In July 2023, as tensions escalated, April found herself resolute, determined to leave Donovan for good. Unbeknownst to April, Donovan's actions spoke volumes. Just a week before her untimely death, he had pawned his wedding ring, a decision that foreshadowed a brewing storm. On July 28th, as April was found unconscious in her shower, a chilling realization began to surface. Earlier that day, she had engaged in a heated argument with Donovan. While the specifics of their dispute remained elusive, it was evident that tensions were high. Denzel, their son, had heard the discord between his parents that morning, but the words were lost to him. He later recounted the events to his grandmother, marking the start of a tragic day. On that fateful morning, April had woken up, consumed her coffee, and engaged in her daily journaling ritual. She shared affectionate moments with her 7-year-old son, Denzel, unaware of the impending turmoil. Once in the bathroom, the couple's argument intensified. Denzel, curious and concerned, pressed his ear against the door, straining to understand the escalating conflict. When the words eluded him, he retreated to his room. Soon after, Donovan entered Denzel's room, dressed him, and fed him. In a moment of urgency, he instructed Denzel to check on April, a decision that would soon lead to devastating consequences. The call to 911 came swiftly, but by the time they reached the hospital, the unimaginable had occurred. April lay unresponsive, with no brain function and no blood flow to her brain, marking the tragic end of a life filled with potential and love. The truth about the bag remained hidden for over 6 agonizing hours. During that time, Donovan Holt returned to the apartment twice, oblivious to the unfolding tragedy. What drove him back there is a mystery that lingers. On July 31st, 2023, the unthinkable occurred. April Holt was pronounced dead. In the wake of this devastating loss, Jamie Dickerson found herself on a relentless quest for justice. What followed was a fierce battle to apply public pressure, demanding the attention of the Nashville police and the district attorney's office. Jamie knew she had to fight for her daughter's story to be heard. Determined to seek exposure, Jamie reached out to local news stations, celebrities, and utilized her social media platforms to amplify April's case. Yet, it was an uphill struggle, especially after the investigation had officially closed its doors. As days turned into weeks, Jamie encountered a bleak reality. Gaining traction in media coverage of April's case proved elusive, with mainstream outlets showing no interest in revisiting the story. Frustration seeped through Jamie's words as she expressed her bewilderment. Despite her tireless efforts to reach out, no news channel in the Nashville area had picked up April Holt's story. Not a single one, since day one. 14 months had passed, and Jamie had contacted every local channel. Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 5. All to no avail, not even a response. In her desperation, she even sought the help of various celebrities, but silence was all she received. Jamie's campaign didn't stop online. It transformed into a relentless pursuit of justice in every conceivable direction. In a strategic move, she requested the full case file and formally lodged a complaint with the Community Review Board in Nashville. Jamie demanded a comprehensive review of the handling of April's case, refusing to let the matter rest. Eventually, her efforts bore fruit as the Metro Nashville Police Department initiated a second investigation. 4 months later, they returned with a 47-page report. However, the reinvestigation failed to alter the categorization of the case or the nature of April's tragic death. Yet the report provided Jamie with a treasure trove of details to scrutinize. She dedicated countless hours to combing through the report and related documentation, turning days into weeks and weeks into months. As Jamie navigated the complexities of the case, she also focused on providing a stable and nurturing environment for her grandchildren. Serenity and Denzel needed her now more than ever. She documented their journey to grief counseling, sharing the sleepless nights spent comforting them through their nightmares. Jamie was candid about her own grief, even penning a book that chronicled her bereavement process. Titled Grieving Through Grace, the book's proceeds would support her next endeavor, a children's book called Breathe With Me, the next chapter of her journey through loss. In her advocacy against domestic violence, Jamie shed light on the often misunderstood dynamics at play in many relationships. She emphasized that abuse can wear many faces, none of which are easily recognizable. During this tumultuous time, Jamie faced another challenge, keeping the children together. In the months following April's death, Donovan Holt made a significant decision. He relocated to Texas. Not unexpectedly, he wished for his son to join him there. Yet Serenity, overwhelmed with emotion, refused to accompany him. She couldn't bear the thought of leaving her mother behind, especially as she witnessed Donovan's tears. In a heartbreaking scene, April's son cried out to his grandmother, pleading, "Grammy, I'll do anything I can to try to stay with you." The anguish in his voice was palpable, yet the grandmother insisted she would never influence his emotions. Despite accusations that she manipulated his feelings, she stood firm in her belief that he should form his own opinions. Above all, she wanted him to find happiness, no matter where that path led. Her greatest wish was for him to enjoy a fulfilling childhood alongside his sister. However, tension was brewing between Jamie and her former son-in-law, Donovan Holt, as April's case unfolded in April of 2024. Jamie abruptly halted her online posts expressing her concerns regarding April's case, announcing that she had been placed under a gag order. Although her public advocacy came to a standstill, her relentless pursuit of justice for April continued unabated. Initially, investigators asserted that April had shown no signs of trauma related to her untimely death. Yet Jamie, having witnessed the aftermath at the hospital, knew this was far from the truth. Jamie observed unmistakable bruises on April's body, and the autopsy revealed troubling marks on her neck, thighs, and ankles. A disturbing gash on her inner thigh added to the grim evidence. But perhaps the most damning evidence, overlooked by the initial investigation, lay in the details of the crime scene. Only one set of fingerprints was discovered on the bag taped around April's head, and similarly, only one set was found on the duct tape. Those prints did not belong to April. They matched those of Donovan Holt. In September, Jamie confronted him directly with her findings. During their tense exchange, Donovan chillingly confessed that she could either hear the truth from him or he would take the evidence to the cold case team the following Thursday. Jamie, having spent a year piecing together the puzzle of April's death, felt an eerie calm wash over her. She already sensed the truth. With his confession in hand, Jamie approached the police, armed with the recorded admission. This new evidence prompted a re-evaluation of April's autopsy, leading to a pivotal change in the case's direction. The manner of death was officially reclassified as homicide. On September 20, 2024, the Memphis Metropolitan Police Department announced the arrest of Donovan Holt in San Antonio. He had confessed to detectives that he was responsible for his wife's death. Donovan faced serious charges: reckless homicide, evidence tampering, and false reporting. Jamie received a call from detectives with the shocking news of his arrest in Texas for April's homicide. He was now in handcuffs, being transported back to Tennessee, with the next legal steps looming ahead. Donovan was held on a $75,000 bond, awaiting an arraignment hearing set for October 23rd. Following discussions with the Nashville Cold Case Unit, any lingering doubts about the case were erased. Donovan, now 33 years old, recounted to police the same narrative he had shared with Jamie. In a fit of rage, he had strangled April during an argument, then dragged her into the shower, covering her head with a bag and securing it with tape before leaving to prepare lunch for their son. In a chilling confession, it was revealed that Donovan had conspired to conceal his heinous act. In a fit of rage, he had strangled April during an argument. To mask the crime, he dragged her lifeless body into the shower, placing a bag over her head and taping it securely in place. He then left her there, cold and alone, to make lunch for their son, a facade of normalcy after committing the unthinkable. It was only after Denzel had finished his meal that he expressed concern for his mother, prompting him to call for an ambulance. Meanwhile, April's children found solace with their grandmother, who reported that they were coping as well as could be expected given the circumstances. In the wake of this tragedy, some days proved to be better than others. Jamie took to social media to express her gratitude to those who had supported her and her family during this horrific ordeal. Yet her fight was far from over. Currently, Jamie is on a mission to see the murder charge against Donovan increased from reckless homicide to first-degree murder. She passionately declared, "I am trying to get the charges increased. There's no reason that they are as low as they are." She further insisted, "There's no reason that they shouldn't be classified as first-degree instead of reckless homicide. There should also be child endangerment added to these charges, and that is my next battle." In a heartfelt admission, she shared her ongoing struggle, revealing, "I should have a new district attorney assigned to this case sometime next week, which will be my third one. I will be relentless in ensuring that these charges are elevated." This was the tragic tale of April Lynn Holt. I extend my gratitude to you for joining me, and a special thanks to Alicia Rockland and Naman for being part of the Members Lounge. I am Kevin, and you have been watching Just Thought Lounge. Until next time, let me hear the cries for justice, for they must not go unheard.